He was not a magician. He was a man who wanted to understand everything he saw. He opened bodies to study how life works. He drew machines no one had imagined before. He sketched the future with ink and patience. This is what Leonardo da Vinci really invented.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive.
It's great to be here.
So today, we are putting a magnifying glass on. Well, not a painting, but on the mind behind the paintings.
The mind of Leonardo da Vinci.
Exactly. I mean, we all know him for the Mona Lisa for the Last Supper, but just thinking of him as an artist.
It really misses the point, doesn't it?
It misses this monumental, unified scientific reality he was constantly chasing.
That's absolutely right. Our source material today is really an analysis of his relentless pursuit of total knowledge.
A pursuit that just blurred all the lines.
Completely. Between aesthetics, physics, anatomy, even engineering. He wasn't satisfied just, observing things.
He had to how they worked.
He had to understand the internal mechanisms of everything, from the human heart to the way water flows.
So our mission today is to really dissect his method. How did this one man integrate art and science so completely that he became the ultimate, what do our sources call him? A knowledge synthesis.
And an idea perfectionist. And
Right.
It all stemmed from one foundational mandate.
Which was? It was astonishingly simple, but also utterly demanding. If he paints something, he must know it exactly.
Wow. For Da Vinci, the pursuit of beauty was fundamentally rooted in scientific truth. The art was just proof of the knowledge.
Okay, let's unpack that. Let's start where most people start with him, with the masterpieces.
Mm-hmm.
He had this unparalleled eye for faces, for humanity. It seems like everything he saw was a piece of data for him.
But unlike his contemporaries, his obsession wasn't just to render something beautifully. He wanted to reverse engineer beauty itself.
To find a formula for it.
Exactly. A dedicated, almost methodological attempt to find the formula for aesthetic perfection. He was trying to decipher the recipe for how the human organism is formed.
And this wasn't just some philosophical musing.
No, not at all. He approached this challenge with the precision of an engineer. He went to the secret of beauty with a measuring tape.
Applying numbers to something that feels so subjective.
Absolutely. He meticulously determined ideal proportions, drawing on classical knowledge, specifically the Roman architect Vitruvius.
Right, who had described the ideal human figure in geometric terms centuries before.
But here's where Da Vinci breaks new ground. He didn't just copy Vitruvius. He used his own detailed anatomical studies to test and refine those classical ratios.
So he was using empirical data to fact-check a 1,500-year-old theory.
Precisely. He blended classical geometry with Renaissance empirical science. And of course, the ultimate outcome of that search is one of the most famous drawings in our history.
The Vitruvian Man.
The Vitruvian Man. It's not just a sketch. It's a diagram showing that math, philosophy, and the human form are all unified under one set of natural laws.
It's the perfect symbol for his whole life's work. But, that fascination with proportion was really just the opening act.
It led to a much deeper and more challenging investigation.
Into the mechanics of the body itself.
That's where his obsession really shows itself. Da Vinci stated very clearly that an artist must possess a total understanding of the human body.
So if you want to paint movement.
You have to understand the muscles and bones that create it. If you want to paint an expression, you need to know about the nerves under the face.
And this is where he moved from measurement and theory to radical action. This part is just stunning, especially for the era he was living in.
The radical step was dissection, anatomical investigation.
Of human bodies.
Yes. He dissected corpses to map every single muscle, tendon, bone, every nerve pathway. He wanted to get inside the entirety of human anatomy in a way that had been, almost forbidden for centuries.
You had to just stop and think about the risk involved.
Yeah,
there.
huge. Getting bodies was illegal. It meant dark deals with hospitals, and then the process itself. No refrigeration, working in secret.
It's just staggering dedication.
He reportedly dissected around 30 human corpses in his lifetime. And he didn't just sketch what he saw, he pioneered new drawing techniques. He created cross-sections, exploded views, drawings from multiple angles to show how different parts related to each other. His visual data was as accurate as a modern textbook diagram.
Was there one specific discovery that really set his work apart?
Well, one of the most notable was his work on the heart. He was one of the first to truly understand how the heart valves worked.
He realized that it was a pump.
A complex muscular pump, not just some simple bellows for blood. He even described the spiral flow of blood through it.
And the scientific impact of all this work, I mean, it wasn't just good for an artist, it was.
It was revolutionary for centuries. His anatomical studies, compiled with such incredible detail, remained scientifically unmatched for 300 years.
300.
Yeah. Just think about that. It really proves that you can't separate his artistic genius from his integrated scientific mission.
And that deep knowledge of internal systems, it didn't just stay locked in the human body, did it?
Not at all. If he was observing muscle and bone, he was also observing wings and water.
Which brings us to his machines.
Precisely. His obsession with flight is, of course, legendary. He studied insects, bats, but especially birds, documenting their wing structures, their flight mechanics.
To inform his flying machines, the aerial screw, the ornithopter, the parachute, we know a lot of these probably weren't built, but the science in the designs is what's so fascinating.
Yes, and the parachute is a perfect example of his integrated thinking, of biomimicry.
Taking cues from nature.
Right. His diagrams show all the detailed thoughts about shape and tension, but what's really crucial is his specification for the material.
He wanted it to imitate bird feathers. Why? I mean, that seems counterintuitive for something meant to slow you down.
Well, that's the genius of it. Feathers are structured to be both water repellent and air permeable.
Air permeable, so it lets some air through.
Exactly, and that helps regulate the pressure under the canopy. It dramatically reduces the violent swaying that would have made other designs completely unstable. It stabilizes the fall.
So he's applying aerodynamic principles he learned from studying birds. That's basically early aerospace engineering.
And if you connect this to the bigger picture, Da Vinci was constantly collecting knowledge. He saw nature as the ultimate perfected engineer.
And he was happy to borrow.
He allowed existing ideas, whether it's a bird's flight or a design sketched by someone else, to inspire his own blueprints, which he then perfected with science.
Now, it's important to acknowledge this genius wasn't always aimed at, beauty or flight. We have to address the darker side of his creativity.
His work on weapons and military technology.
Right. It feels a bit jarring, doesn't it?
It does, but you have to view it in context.
Yeah.
In Renaissance Italy, military patronage was one of the main ways to get funding for technological innovation.
And war was constant.
Almost continuous in his homeland. The demand for weapons was great.
So what kind of equipment did he design?
His notebooks are just filled with designs for formidable war machines. He conceptualized movable machine guns, for example.
Rapid-fire artillery.
Yeah, things that could be repositioned quickly on a battlefield. And most famously, he designed an early conceptual tank.
An armored vehicle. What did that look like?
Well, it was revolutionary for its time. It was supposed to be covered in slanting metal plates to deflect cannonballs, propelled from the inside by men turning cranks, and armed with cannons all around its circumference.
And our sources note that even here, he wasn't starting from scratch. He was inspired by others.
Yes, specifically an earlier military engineer named Vitruvian.
So even when developing cutting-edge military hardware, we see the same method at play.
Absolutely. It's the critical point. He was not inventing every single concept from zero. He drew inspiration or models from others.
Whether it was a classical thinker like Vitruvius, an engineer like Vitruvian,
Yeah.
or the ultimate model,
Yeah.
nature itself. But the key difference is that he always added something radically new and unique to the design. He always enhanced it. So let's tie all of these threads together. We have the scientist dissecting bodies, the mathematician perfecting beauty, the engineer mimicking feathers, the military inventor. What does it all mean?
How do we define his true genius? I think we have to define it not by the list of his creations, but by his integrated approach. His greatness was his unparalleled ability to take existing ideas,
From all these different fields.
artistic techniques, anatomical data, engineering concepts, and always further develop them, thinking about them in entirely new, interconnected contexts.
That's the core takeaway then.
Yeah.
His genius was adaptive. It was contextual. He was a systematic enhancer.
Which is what makes him, to use those perfect words from the source material, the definitive knowledge synthesist and idea perfectionist.
He took what was known, what was sketched, what was observed.
And through his relentless methodology, he perfected it for human use, whether that was painting a face with unprecedented realism or building a machine that could, in theory, fly. He treated all of reality as just, existing knowledge waiting to be perfected. So to summarize this deep dive for you, We've seen Da Vinci as an artist whose realism was driven by forensic anatomical rigor, and as an inventor whose fantastical designs were actually rooted in the measured properties of the natural world.
And in every single field, his power was taking what was already there and making it exponentially better.
Indeed. Which means his greatest legacy, his greatest invention, might not be the Mona Lisa or a conceptual tank, but his method itself.
This constant collecting, observing, and perfecting.
Right. And that leaves you with an important question to think about. If we accept Da Vinci's philosophy, this idea that being an idea perfectionist is a form of genius,
That enhancing what exists is as valuable as creating something new from scratch.
how does that change the way you view innovation and creativity today? Think about that the next time you dismiss an idea, but because it's not new enough.